Hi, how are you? My name is Darshan and I have applied for a position of software engineer at OneStepGPS. My main motive in life is to learn and grow and make sure I am always learning and I'm always growing and applying my knowledge, applying my skill sets that I have gained throughout the years and making sure it gets applied. My main motive, like this was the main reason that I came into US because US is at the forefront of technology and it will make sure that I will grow in this, and that's why I came here. And about this position, you like if you have asked me 2 weeks before that if I wanted to go into Golang, I would definitely say no. But you would not believe that after going through Reddit, after the posts of developers on Reddit about Golang, it changed my mind, and I was and then I saw this position as well that helped, and I believe this position will help me get into Golang deeper, and it will help me create solutions for the world with one step GPS, and it will help me get hands-on in the new technologies as one step GPS grows. I'm also excited about the chances to collaborate with a small working team that is pivotal in their work. Like I'm also looking to forward I'm also looking forward to deepen my expertise in it as well as GPS and IoT solutions. And I am looking forward to the guidance and mentorship. And I believe I can grow into a more senior position with their help. And and if you ask me where I want to be in the next 5 years, I would definitely say that want to have a great impact working where I work, being responsible and leading the development of new product, new architectural changes, and one of the most important persons in the room and in the team. And those are the career goals that I have that I want to fulfill with One Step GPS. Is to describing a technically difficult problem that I have worked on and how I came to a solution to that problem. I will just start with that. Uh, As I have as I have mentioned in my resume that I have worked at Infosys for around 1.5 years, that one of the main problem that I faced, the technically challenged problem that I faced was to create an automated seat allocation system across various office location for post-COVID return to office application with social distancing guidelines. Like there, I faced three major challenges. One was for the dynamic seat allocation, one was to provide real-time updates, and one was secure authentication and access control. Starting with the seat allocation, like yeah, starting with the dynamic seat allocation, we had to make sure that we are accounting for social distancing constraints as well as making sure count the available seats as well as the employees team, and we have to make sure that we are not having any bottlenecks during the processing time. So like we did at the starting was we just created a basic layout, just created that, and we just allocated all the seats based on the first come first serve services, making sure that social distancing guidelines were properly being followed. After that, like what we did was we basically tried to prioritize on the teams. So suppose if you are in team A and your other teammate is also checking in, we're making sure you and your teammate and all of your team is staying together, sitting together. I mean, that's how we started to do that. We applied a priority queue that takes that into consideration, and like that was the basic solution that we came up with. And we also had to make sure that we are uh, making it as fast as possible and giving updates as soon as possible to the front end. So Like it was a very slow algorithm and we had to optimize it. So what we did, like we had to use multi-threading for that to calculate the distances between to calculate the distances, as well as we had to make sure we are using something to store the data to make it more optimized. So yes, so as I was saying, we used a lookup table to basically cache all the distances that we had, and it helped algorithm to get faster, and we had basically reduced 70% of we reduced 70% of the processing time on that. I believe that was the most time consuming task that we had. The other things were just really easy. And also for real time updates, we what we implemented was basically used a signal based system that listen for employees checked in and updates just from the admin portal itself. And we also had to make sure we have the authentication and access control in place. So we use JWT tokens for authentication to secure the login and the session management for the users. Whereas we also made sure we had access control to only allow administrators to get the list of all the seats that were taken today and pass them on to the housekeeping staff and make sure that they were properly sanitized at the end of the day. And if any changes needed, administrator can do it manually. I think those were the challenges that were encountered by me, and those and like after that we had successfully created the web application and made sure we had a significant reduction in the processing time. And this just is like one of the biggest technical problem that I have faced and how I encountered it. Apart from that, during my masters, I also faced one of the major problem while I was working on an NLP, natural language processing project, NLP project. Me along with my teammates, where we took on a project which basically converts audio to text and then translates this text to another language. So we had to basically create two models. One was for video, audio to text transcription, as for other one language to other language translations. We had a few resources, like we are limited on the number of resources and we were short on time. So what we as a team decided to do was like we can cut down one of the part and we can focus only on one part. So what we decided to do was basically just uh, we just focus on the translation part, just converting one text into another language, whereas we used Google speech to text APIs to transcribe the text that from the audio. I mean, that's one of the other technical problem that we had during my masters. I think that's it for this one. All right, see you.